Hey there guys, Frankomatic here with Cess.
Hi,
And as some of you might know, we are,
Enix.
we're not Enix.
Oh,
We're moving to Japan very soon. So I figured right before we go, might as well go all out with the obscure game part of the obscure game theater and play a Japanese game that was never released anywhere but Japan. This is the intro. Well, the intro happens and shows the formation of Earth and life. Let's talk a little bit about this game.
okay.
This game is titled 46 Okunen Monogatari, the Shinka Run, which, as best I can see, translates out to 4.6 billion years story, the evolution. It was released in Japan on a, I believe, 8-bit computer called the PC-98. And the reason why I decided to do this is because it's also a kind of spiritual predecessor to EVO, The Search for Evolution, released on the SNES by Enix.
You ran out of things to say, didn't you?
Kinda, yeah. But this game is kind of a simple RPG, unlike the action-based nature of EVO. It's also on 5 discs,
Holy cow. That is a lot.
one of which is literally this introduction sequence and nothing else.
Wow, that's so worth it.
The game also has some pretty cool art. I have made an effort to, we're recording this commentary after the fact. I've made an effort to leave the text up on screen when talking to people, just in case someone who reads Japanese a bit better than we do spots anything particularly fun and wants to share it. Feel free to do so in the comments. Boy, the Earth forms really fast when you have the magic of time and lapse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I also like this music. This is in fact still the intro. The intro will just repeat eventually, which is when we'll actually get the game moving by pressing a button.
Well, no wonder it was a full disc for the intro.
It's very long, and I assume informative, but I can't actually read. I did see Hitori there. Yep, and now life is happening. And soon, we will happen.
uh, Good
That's
job,
us.
fish.
We're dumb-looking fish.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
And now we're back to the start, and I think it takes me a couple of seconds to realize I need to push something to actually make it go.
Good job, dummy.
Yeah, I'm kind of an idiot. Yep, there we go. Put in disc number 2. So this game is very, event flag heavy. and a lot of figuring out what to do involves just figuring out who or what you need to talk to. And while we talk to these fish that have found us, we can talk a little bit about the interface. We got a map in the upper right, which I'll talk about a little more once we get to a point where it's more relevant.
Mm-hmm.
We've got us, a stupid green fish.
Okay.
The bar is our health. The text to the left of it is our species currently. And to the right is our Evo points. I don't know if that's actually what they're called in this, but I'm going to call them that because that's what they were called in Evo the Search for Evolution. Wait. These 4 dudes, A, B, C, and D of a type, are kind of recurring characters. You might also notice that we're moving around really fast and awkwardly. I think there was a bit of an emulation problem with this. But it's not too bad. And this is me going into all the menu stuff. This is the evolution screen. You dump your points into one of 4 stats, which I only just now noticed all end with the power kanji. You've got intelligence at the top, health at the right, attack at the bottom, and I don't know what that's supposed to be on the left, but it makes you more defense oriented.
Grumpiness makes you defensive. Looks like endurance.
And it always asks you to confirm whether or not you actually want to put your points there. Also, you might notice the map turned into a weird grid thing. That's the evolution map. Which is kind of important, because if you actually go off the edges of the map, you get a game over. And I show off a few of those throughout the run, because some of them are kind of amusing. But our first task is to just, we can't leave this little area.
Okay.
So we just gotta go talk to everything. It can be a little tricky to tell what's a thing to talk to and what isn't for a few of them, but just go ram your face into things to talk to them. In our little tide pool kind of area here, I guess? Fish village, maybe?
So are we in the, like, deep thing, or are we over?
We are off the left side of the map currently. That glowing point, there's 2 of them, but those glowing points are the points of interest we need to get to in order to exit the section.
Okay.
The map is only semi-useful, which will make a little more sense once we get out of this not-on-the-map area anyway.
Oh no, volcanoes.
Well, it's a young planet. I don't know if you have to actually talk to everybody, or if you just have to talk to, like, the Elder and then some other randos, but...
Hey, whatever, it's an RPG. Talk to everyone.
Once you talk to the correct people, the event flag triggers, and the game actually lets you, progress. The event flags aren't too complicated yet, but in a couple of the later chapters it gets kind of bad if you can't read the Japanese. In the next to last chapter, I hit a point where I actually had to look up a video to figure out why I couldn't get anywhere.
Cool.
And even that only sort of helped me. It was still a matter of just kind of bumbling around, talking to everyone on the map until I talked to the right order of people. But yeah, as you asked, we do need to get to the bottom of that deep thing, and that's actually kind of the main, I don't want to say puzzle, but puzzle of the area, which I'll explain a little more once we get over there.
Okay.
Because I show off why it's a, quote, puzzle, end quote. If you think about it a little bit, you can probably figure it out ahead of time. Play along at home and see if you can figure out why it might be a puzzle. I think all these dudes around the elder fish there say the same thing, but...
High water pressure.
You are correct. You are not to at least a certain level. And, oh no, something has happened. Everybody has something different to say now, too. The poor jellyfish seems to be having a pretty bad time of it. I think that fish might have just said, we need to get out of here or something.
Yep.
This is completely not necessary, but I went and talked to everybody anyway. We still can't quite leave yet. There is a specific person we need to talk to for that to happen.
Person or fish?
Fish person.
Fisherson?
These guys are freaking out. But we have to talk to the leader, elder fish, who was also kind of freaking out. And eventually, they blame us for whatever just happened.
That is a little unreasonable.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we did show up right before everything apparently went to crap.
But we're just a fish.
But apparently we're important.
Protagonists of video games aren't important.
So after this conversation, we get booted out of here. Well, I say booted out of here, but it's booted out of here like Secret of Mana, and that you have to just walk yourself out of town and then you can't go back.
Oh.
And by walk, I guess I mean swim.
Get out of our village. Our fish village.
You have to leave. Don't come back. Which throws us out into the big nasty world of the ocean.
Oh man, that's rude. They won't even, like, say anything to you now, huh?
So now we can leave. Oh wait! Just kidding. I assume this is the fish that just stopped the leader fish from attacking us earlier.
Not that it's easy to tell which fish is which,
Because they all
but...
look the same, yeah. I assume if we could read the names, it might help, but... I think most of them are just, like, the fish type with a descriptor. So here we are in the world map, after this text box.
Good world map. A black screen.
And you might notice that now we are in the leftmost pool, except we're not visible on the map, and we never will be.
Huh.
You have to just kind of look around at your surroundings and figure it out. And this is a battle. These jellyfish only show up in this very first area, and they are the only thing you can fight right off the bat. Everything else will murder you terribly.
And the other green fish?
The other green fish will kill you.
What jerks.
And we got one Evo point. So the options there, I went into the middle one, that is your techniques. We only have one technique, and it's actually also the only technique that matters.
Okay.
I'll talk about it when we use it later, because we will use it. And this is what you spend a lot of this game doing.
Fighting jellyfish that only exist in the first area.
Fighting in general to get Evo points to make yourself less terrible.
So it's an RPG.
Yep. Because if you don't level up and try to move forward, you will die very quickly. The jellyfish aren't a good show of it, but the combat in this game is really brutal if you're not a little ahead of the curve. It's an RPG by Enix, so if you've played Dragon Quest, you probably get the idea of what I'm getting at.
Yep.
I mean, really the main problem we have right now is that our stats are so low we have like maybe 10 HP, I think.
How do you restore your HP between battles?
It regenerates slowly on its own.
Okay.
There are also spots on the maps that you can stand on to regenerate faster.
Ah.
And the technique we have, the only technique we have in this form, is actually a heal.
Oh, that's good.
I think it's like a rest style move, because you essentially lose 2 turns, but you heal both those turns. So you take a punch, but you generally, unless the enemy crits you twice, come out ahead. So in order to level up, you have to actually reach the end of one of those numbers there. And sometimes random events happen that hurt you and give you some free points to evolve with. I don't quite understand that system, but it's how it works.
Okay, fair enough.
I left the start of this unedited just so you get a feel of how this game generally plays. But in the future, including in this video, it will be these grinds will be sped up. And you see the numbers in parentheses there?
Mm-hmm.
Once you reach that number in one of the stats, your form will change, and you will move on the evolution grid. Generally, raising HP or attack will move you towards the right side of the grid. The jellyfish used a skill. There are a lot of skills you can get as you evolve, but most of them are basically worthless. Possibly because I can't read them to understand what they're supposed to be doing, but a lot of them seem like you just lose your turn for no gain.
Okay.
I know there are some good ones, because sometimes the enemies use a skill and then all of a sudden you're hitting them for like half damage or what have you, but I couldn't figure it out and it's basically unnecessary. Yeah. Intelligence and defense tend to move you to the left on that grid, and HP and attack tend to move you to the right.
Okay.
If I recall, intelligence and attack will also generally, if you're at the edge of the grid, move you down a level rather than off the grid, but that's not a 100% thing. Whereas if you're at the far right and try to go right again, you'll generally pop off the grid and game over.
Oh.
At this point, I've probably actually raised my defense enough that fighting a fish wouldn't be instant death, and I decided to try. Yeah, as you can see, they're still a bit better than us in terms of HP. The enemy's HP is the bottom bar.
Mm-hmm.
I raised my defense enough that I can probably kill it before it kills me, because I got a crit at the start. And there's the heal. The benefit of these guys being tougher is that once you manage to kill them, they're worth twice as many points as the jellyfish, which still isn't much.
Time-wise, I don't think it was worth it yet.
No, and I think I don't bother again right away. Also, the enemies will kind of be despawn if you move them off screen, so if something you don't want to deal with is blocking your way, you can just kind of leave and come back and hope it's not there anymore.
Cool.
Which is really useful later on in a lot of the chapters, because a lot of the late fights in the later chapters are completely not worth messing around with, because you will take way more damage than is necessary. And usually by that point you've maxed out how far you can evolve anyway, so you don't need the points. Because the game only lets you evolve to a certain point. The bottom level of any grid is generally only accessible when you're at the final point of the chapter, and evolves you to the next state of life that you're going to be in.
Okay.
And what the game does if you get down to like the row beforehand, early, is you just can't put stats down anymore once you hit just below the threshold. So you will eventually be stuck in a form. But see how there's only one box down at the bottom there?
Yeah.
That you can't get to until the very end of the chapter.
Okay. Oops.
I bumped up my attack, so this shouldn't be quite as bad now as I hit it for 2 instead of for 1 every time. Still probably would have been ideal to not get into this fight. I could have evolved by this point and made these fights a little less of a pain in the butt, but I am kind of OCD about trying to keep my stats
Even-ish?
yeah. Which I'm pretty certain is not the intended way to go about it, and we're evolving. Now we're,
Weird bluefish.
some kind of horrible abomination with arms. Arm fins. We now have more HP than these guys.
Do you still have the same skill?
We still have the heal skill. We also gained something else I don't think I ever used, because, as I said, most of those skills don't really seem to do anything. I know I tried it. And nothing happened. Nothing obvious, at least. And our stats now have higher maximums, because we went down a level on the, grid. At this point, I think I decided to move on instead of hanging around here. Because in here is the first kind of maze dungeon thing. First thing you want to do here is go all the way to the right and pick up this glowy thing, which is a piece of Gaia and gives you 20 Evo points. So if you're smart, you could have, for instance, come in here instead of fighting right away and got 20 points for doing nothing. Also, here's something fun. See how I teleported really fast over here?
Yeah.
There are currents. And what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to, like, be pushed instead of instantly teleport. But again, emulation issues, I think. Also, you can't save in here, which I think I show off right now.
That was quite a noise.
And this guy is in our way. And as I showed, you can't go back up right now because of that current. So this could be a problem if you're not evolved enough. We're, fine. But if that guy starts kicking your butt, you can run, and if you go to the left there, you'll get dumped back outside. So you're not stuck. Also, it's these guys again.
Oh, they left their village too.
I think what was supposed to be implied by the story there is whatever happened, they just like everybody had to leave.
How do they recognize you?
It's a good question. And now they just kind of swim around haphazardly since we have convinced them that they're okay. Which is real good because there's a one-tile passage down there that one of them is swimming right towards. I don't know what this guy asked me, but I said yes. And he seemed pretty,
Chatty about it?
yeah. As I wait for this guy to get out of my way. There we go. And down here we have currents again.
Hooray.
But... Oop, nope, not that one. We did see another piece of Gaia earlier, which is what I'm on the way to get right now. Except not that way. It's over here. Whenever you can find those, you generally want to pick them up, because they are considerably faster than fighting.
Oh, you became that other guy.
Yep. You're going to notice that I generally am going to try to stay to the right side of the grid on this run-through.
Mm-hmm.
That's because the further to the left you are, the faster you move on the map, and after a point you basically become uncontrollable due to the emulation issues.
Good.
Like, it becomes impossible to move a single tile. Which makes getting through some areas a real pain.
Don't go into
Oh yeah,
the air.
Yeah, if you go up to the surface, you actually take damage, because you can't breathe air. You're a fish. And now we're through the cave, we've got...
Former use.
We got slightly stronger enemies. And, if you're keeping track, we are now above the big old pit on the map. So we've got the benefit of everything giving more Evo points now, but the fights are harder.
Uh-oh.
Some red bubbles happened and we took damage, but we gained 8 points. And we're evolving again. Now we're a fat fish.
Or a flat fish.
And we might be a flounder. It does give you some information on what you evolved into, but again, since I can't actually read it, it's not super useful to me. So yeah, our goal now is to get down to the bottom of the big old pit we were over. That was me accidentally trying to change the text speed instead of saving. And the blue flash is you take damage over time, but again, you get some Evo points for your inconvenience.
Can the world events kill you?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, it's super cool. Also, in here is a good place to go. I missed this the very first time I played through, but you want to come in here. There's a very good reason. After these guys get done talking to us. There are 2 glowy things to pick up, which I probably went right past.
Good job.
And these ones are worth 30 points each. And we can talk to these, whatever they are.
Pre-sharks, maybe?
Yeah, that's kind of why I got the feeling that they were supposed to be, like, proto-sharks. We can eventually become a proto-shark, and I think we might at some point.
Well, if you're sticking to the right, that kind of makes sense.
Also notice, this guy has way more health than us, but they don't really seem interested in devouring our tender flesh. They do make us leave, though.
Well, you did rob them.
Yeah, I try to go back in just to show that you,
Get out.
you can't. You can't go back. Sorry. Also, I came over here to show that we can't go to the right now because of those bubbles. If you touch them, you'll take damage. Like, a lot of damage. So our only option is to go down, and I do not want to fight this thing.
Looks like you forgot to spend your Evo points, too.
Well, I didn't because I wanted to show off why you need to. Also, you might notice this thing is, like, kicking the crap out of me.
This is why you needed to. This thing's a jerk.
Here's me again, trying a skill and getting... As far as I can tell, it made me hit for less.
Good skill.
This is why I don't usually bother with them. I successfully got away. And see those bubbles?
Yeah.
They heal you.
Cool.
Alright, this is why you need to use Evo points. When we got down to that point, we started taking damage every time we moved. Because there's too much pressure. And our body cannot handle it. The thing that intelligence does for you is it makes your skills better. Most notably, it makes you heal for more.
Uh-huh.
So you generally kind of want to try and keep that one up. And here's me not using the points, because I wasn't paying attention and accidentally went all the way down on attack and didn't want to evolve just yet. And if you tell it no, it gives you back all your points. And we're gonna have enough to evolve anyway. What I'm going to be doing later in this video, starting pretty soon, I believe, is speeding up the grinds a bit, and then slowing it down when we evolve, or when we're going to actually move forward. I've also selected some music for the sped up parts. And here I am getting wrecked by world events. Also, we appear to be like a barracuda now.
Not really, I don't think.
Also, you might have noticed how frickin' fast we move now on this thing, and that's why I don't plan on being on this side of the grid. More than necessary.
Alright.
Yep, here we go. Today's musical selection is the theme for the ocean stages from EVO, The Search for Evolution. I was originally going to just leave it with the sped up audio intact, but figured I should replace it with something a little less awful to hear.
So it sounds bad sped up, is what I'm hearing from you.
Also, those of you who played EVO, The Search for Evolution, might have recognized the battle theme of this game. For those of you who haven't played it, I will talk about it a bit more in the next episode. I actually kind of like the ocean music. And we're getting ready to evolve. Now we're some kind of armor fish.
Does the armor allow you to go in a high-pressure area?
I think we're actually already a bit lower down than we could go before. We still can't get to the bottom in this form, though, I think. Oop, here we go again. Now we're an eel.
Freaky looking.
Also kind of hard to see on the map. Yeah, now we're definitely down farther than we could be before. I don't recall if the eel can make it all the way to the bottom, but as you can see, even as an eel, these things are hit kind of hard. So going down lower might not be the best idea anyway. Yeah, so they didn't speed up. That means we're gonna probably show off a game over here, if I recall. Yep, we've gone off the grid.
What did you do?
Apparently we decided that getting super buff was more important than going on, and that was not a good idea.
You're like an angry grandpa fish.
Also, volcanoes are erupting.
And other little fish are dead all around you.
I assume he, like, destabilized the ecosystem or something by becoming too buff.
Your muscles drank all the water.
I just like that he's got a toothpick. Probably a fish bone. Getting the game over like that's not too bad, though. It just dumps you right back to your last save. And now we are the proto-shark.
Aha.
So yeah, if you're trying to be a min-maxing jerk, balancing your stats gets a little tricky. Especially if you're trying to be a min-maxing jerk and end up on a specific part of the evolutionary grid. Also, this thing's being a jerk and just healing constantly.
Yeah, but you're still doing enough damage that it doesn't matter.
Now, and this little feature tells you the information about your type again, what you currently are. And the one I wanted to show off is this thing, which actually shows the history of what all you've been. And now it's time for grinding. Not too much more grinding, though, as we're almost to the bottom of where we can be at. I think you might actually need to get to the bottom row to be able to get down far enough.
So, the game is teaching you early on that you need to evolve.
Yeah. Evolving is good. Oop. Speaking of... back to being a fat fish.
Yeah, this one is definitely a fat fish.
What is your favorite fish been?
I like the stripy fish.
I kind of like the pointy fish we keep seeing every now and again. And now we're a brown fat fish.
I like this fish. It's kind of a cool fish.
I think I did this because I wanted to see if there was a different game over for going off the left side of the grid.
The answer is... yes. Hi.
There's actually a lot of these. So as we go through this every now and then, you'll see me go off the grid just to see what happens at random. Sometimes I attempt to go off the grid and fail, as it decides, nah, you know what, you're good enough. Go down an evolutionary level instead.
Haha.
There I am, spending my points more reasonably. And I think now... we're a green fish. I thought maybe we were going to be the pointy fish, but no. I think it's just me grinding to max to like the max possible stats I can have right now. Or I might have sped this up because I ended up getting into a million fights trying to get to the bottom. Now we're screaming fish.
Ah.
I didn't speed it up, so I think we're going down to the bottom this time. Yep. And what is this?
A glowy thing.
This is Gaia. Gaia has a lot to say.
Alright.
I don't know what all she's saying, but we're gonna help Gaia, I guess.
She's gonna help us.
Somebody's gonna help somebody.
Help will be had.
I don't know what she's doing at the bottom of the ocean.
Chilling out. Being born, maybe, since this is the formation of the world, right?
Yep. The important thing is that by talking to her, when we get back up to the top, those bubble barriers are gone now. I think in this episode I sped up the travel because there's not really any complicated travel to be had. You go to the right.
Ah.
And now the bubbles are back, so we can't go back the way we came. Those red things hurt you. Stay out of those.
Green fish.
And now we're fighting fat fish. This is the point where 176 is the... or 175, rather, is the highest stat you can have in this era. Coming up here makes this happen.
Oh no. The ocean got wrecked.
Huh, I think the text actually just said a stone fell from the sky. Later, presumably. So, we got moved, and there's a lot of crap at the top that's not great for us. That also opened this up. We can go over that wall now, and we're on the far right pool. Getting close to where we need to be to end this section.
Alright.
We need to go there, in fact. And we have actually found land.
Time to become a frog.
And these little plants that are pretty clearly out of the water are actually starting to provide oxygen, so the land is survivable now. Hey look, it's our buddies, the fish. Looks like they've become us. Hey, check out that cool glowy thing. I'm gonna go touch it. I don't know if it's a good idea. Please don't.
But...
Please don't touch the thing. He touched the thing and now he's dead.
Oh no, he screamed.
He's dead. Bye. Rip. That was pretty cool. Let's go touch that thing. So because we're special, we can touch this thing. And Gaia gives us a chance to evolve and become better. So, I did not choose a maxed out stat, which just changed our position on the grid.
Good job.
I did this on purpose. Because now, this thing starts hurting us. But if you leave and go back in, she's like, hey, idiot, try again. I also wanted to, min-max my stats. And I screwed up min-maxing my stats. If you leave, it starts hurting you again.
Wow. You're good at video games, aren't you?
Yeah, this is kind of a trick to the end of every section. You have to have a stat that you can push past its maximum. And now we become
A frog.
a text box.
A tortoise? Oh, a salamander thing.
Yep, like a newt. Some kind of crappy amphibious lizard.
Close enough to a frog.
Everyone's like, Sugoi. You're so cool. And then we just say,
Bye.
We're out later.
Screw you, fish.
Also, here's a tree.
Why is it making weird noises?
That's the wind.
Are you sure?
Yeah. And that is the end of Chapter 1. Next time, we will be walking around on land, like cool land-walking dudes. Or ladies. I'm not really sure what our gender is. But that's for another time. Later, guys.